like all these things, there's two areas really. One is the military significance, and then there's the wider political significance and the impact that it will have in a broader sense. I mean, militarily, it's important. I mean, the danger is every time they capture a town or a village or a city, we all say, "Oh, this is a strategically important place." And in military operations, it's all too easy to think that something is particularly crucial. I don't think this is a game changer. From a military point of view, the city is an important place. It's a logistic. It was a logistic hub, sort of hub and spoke for the Russian military, and they have been doing very badly logistically. So to cut off their logistic supply chain to some degree or other is militarily very important. Broader than that, of course, the key issue is, as you say, Russia has just declared this territory, Donetsk and the rest of the other provinces, as Russian territory. So from his point of view, and we really have to see all of these through his eyes as much as anything else, he is now losing Russian territory. And I am a bit concerned that we, generally speaking in the West, our attitude seems to be that he's bluffing, there's going to be no issue here, we just keep on pressing, taking more territory and so on. And from a military point of view, that's perfectly understandable. But a broader political perspective, I think we need to be a little bit cautious.
We've learnt the hard way, haven't we, that it's not always just sabre-rattling with him. But as you say, this is, although albeit illegally, Russian territory now that's being captured. Zelensky promising to take more. And that in itself could be poking the bear, a provocation in the eyes of who is not a rational man.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We must be clear. This is, he is not a Saddam Hussein or a Milosevic, the sort of puds that I was involved in dealing with over the years I was in the military. This guy has got the capability of causing serious strategic damage, not just through nuclear weapons. I mean, everybody's been talking about nuclear weapons, understandably, but he's also got chemical weapons and biological weapons. He's used both of those. He's used biological weapons against us in Salisbury, but more importantly, in one sense, he's used chemical weapons in places like Syria. So weapons of mass destruction are a fairly broad, instrument in inverted commas, and therefore he could use any of those, and he could certainly use tactical nuclear weapons. They are part of Russian doctrine, and certainly in defense of Russian territory, he could argue that we need to use tactical nuclear weapons. Now, they range from about 2 or 3 kiloton to about 10 kiloton. Hiroshima was 15 kilotons, so we're not talking about small issues here. But nonetheless, from a battlefield point of view, he could use them to try and stop the Ukrainian advance. He could send some messages by using them against Snake Island, for example, which has been much in the press recently, uninhabited, and therefore just use it as a demonstration. I'm not convinced that he would do that personally. And I think the chances of using nuclear weapons is probably only around 10%, but 10% is quite a high figure in the context of what we're talking about here. So my inclination is he probably, might well use chemical rather than the tactical nuclear weapons, and certainly that would be, pretty dramatic as well.